Yo, what up, folks? This is James Freeman, and I love this interaction he has with. It was just random sheriff in Texas that was parked, and he was filming the vehicle, and just check it out. It's funny.
Criminal Interdiction Unit, State of Texas Sheriff's Office. License plate reader. Hey, what's up? Yeah, how about you? What department are you with?
I work for Collin County Sheriff's Office.
Collin County?
Yes, sir.
You got ID on you?
I sure do.
Can I see it, please?
You want to see my...
Yeah, please. I need to see your ID.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sure, no problem.
You licensed to carry that firearm?
Sure is.
Okay. Can you do me a favor and, sorry, hold on. That's kind of loud. That's drowning. Can you do me a favor while I'm dealing with you? Can we go ahead and put your firearm up for my safety?
Absolutely.
It is customary for police, as soon as they arrive at any scene, to make sure that no one else is armed with any sort of weapon, and to disarm anyone who is, before knowing anything else about who the people are or what is going on. And even regardless of whether the people are legally armed.
Hang on a minute. Wonderful. Don't be touching it. What's that? Don't be touching it. Okay. What are we doing?
We're hiking.
We're hiking. Yep. Some reason why you have this?
Because I can.
Well, okay.
Oh, hey, no, don't disarm me, man. Hey,
All right.
get your hand out. Why are you taking my fucking hand? I'm not touching the gun. All right, I'm putting this on tape.
I'm being recorded too.
Good, I have
Okay.
it. You're trying to disarm me illegally.
I am going to disarm you. I am going to disarm you.
We're licensed. We're allowed to do that. We're exempt from the law. We're exempt from the law.
You ain't exempt from the law.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Stop with the rules.
Well, you're an oath
This is what
keeper.
we're going to do, is I'm going to ask you to put your hands out like this, straight to your sides.
I'm not
going to
doing-
remove the firearm from you.
Let me ask you, am I being sent?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Spread your arm out, please, like this. Both of them straight out. Excellent. Go ahead and turn away from me for a second. Excellent.
but you know I don't consent to any search and seizures.
I understand that. I'm not seizing anything.
The obvious purpose of this practice is to immediately create a huge imbalance of power, where only the law enforcers have the ability to forcibly impose their will on others. Imagine the arrogance required for an average citizen to arrive on some scene, unfamiliar with the situation and the people involved, and have his very first thought be, nobody is allowed to have a weapon except me.
You do me a favor while I'm dealing with you. Can we go ahead and put your firearm up for my safety?
Absolutely.
No, I just need for my safety. I'm sorry. Can I see that ID though? I needed to get closer to it, but
I just showed.
well, I couldn't actually see it. I was trying to make sure that I was safe before we saw your ID.
You said.
Okay. So you're licensed to carry that
I
firearm?
am, yes, sir.
Okay. For my safety, you don't want to go ahead and put it up? You don't
No, I
want to have that respect for me and my safety?
No, sir.
Okay. Why is that?
Because this is my duty weapon.
Okay.
I don't holster this thing. I don't take this out unless I go into a jail.
Okay. So I didn't actually see your ID. What's your name then?
My name is Lieutenant Yon with the Collin County Sheriff's Office.
Lieutenant Yon. All right. And what are you out here doing today?
I'm getting gas right now.
Okay. Where are you headed to?
I'm going to work.
All right. So you're not on the clock right now?
I am on the clock.
All right. What brought you to work to Rockwall today?
I work all over the state of Texas.
So we see he's doing the classic, same questioning that the cops do to people. Basically, I'm not for cops, because the majority of them right now have their head up their ass and don't know true law between policy. And that's where a lot of shit gets mixed up. And the American population is basically so brain dead at this point from public schooling, and nobody gets taught, what's real, what's not. A lot of time when cops are doing their thing, they're actually overstepping their jurisdiction, because in order legally to be questioning you and asking for ID and this and that, it needs to be from a crime that's being investigated. So if there's no crime investigating, like all of these traffic stops that everybody deals with is not legit, and people just, they bend over and take it.
So you're Collin County, but you kind of just float around everywhere?
Yes, sir.
So do you patrol Rockwall County then?
I do, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you do stops out here in Rockwall County?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next question is, do you have anything illegal on you that I should know about?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. You don't have any drugs or illegal firearms or anything in the vehicle? All right. Would you mind if I take a look?
Yes, I would.
If I can just have you sit on the curb right over there.
You don't get to search me, bud.
If, for example, someone was confronted by a stranger without a badge, who started interrogating the person in an obviously accusatory way, and asked to be allowed to search that person's pockets, his car, and his home, not only would the person being accosted almost certainly refuse, but he would probably be outraged at the request.
If I can just have you sit on the curb right over there.
You don't get to search me, bud.
Of course you can't rummage through my stuff. Who do you think you are?
Why is that?
Because you have no reason to search me.
But when strangers with badges make such requests, they are the ones offended when the targets of their intrusive, unjustified harassments, accusations, and searches object and refuse to cooperate. Even when the officers know full well that the Fourth and Fifth Amendments to the U.S. Constitution specifically dictate that a person has no legal duty to answer questions or consent to searches. Such lack of cooperation, i.e., failure to unquestioningly bow to the officer's every whim and request, is still seen by the police as a sign that the person must be some sort of criminal and enemy of the state. Only a despicable lowlife would ever treat a representative of authority in the same manner that he treats everyone else.
Why is that?
Because you have no reason to search me.
Well, there was a guy actually who fit your description, dressed in a clown costume, that was planting drugs on people out here in Rockwall.
Watch out, you're fixing to get it.
There was actually someone in the same clown costume planting drugs on people in Rockwall. And so, when I see someone like yourself dressed in the same costume, I figure, I don't know if it's some type of organized gang that's going around doing it, but when you're wearing the same costume, it's pretty suspicious.
Right.
And, if there's nothing to hide, I don't see why there would be a problem with me just checking it out. And that way, me, the public, everyone has peace of mind that you aren't going around planting drugs.
I don't have anything to hide.
Well, then can I check?
No, sir.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to look in my car. You're
Okay.
not going to search it. You can stand right there and look at
Can I put the camera in there then?
You can take a look, yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't want you to break the threshold of my door.
Okay. What do you mean break? Oh, is that breaking the threshold here?
Right
So I
here,
just
yeah.
broke the...
Yeah, that's called a search at that point.
Okay. So I can't check out that bag right
There's
there?
a computer in that bag.
Can we see?
You want to see inside my
Yeah.
bag? Sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so at this point, James just, he keeps going, and they search through his stuff a little bit.
Alright, you know what I mean? I gotta try to
They
secure...
go through the back of it and all that. Goes through the glove box.
Binoculars.
Okay.
What else?
I think it looks good, man.
That answer all your questions?
Yeah.
So the cop was actually pretty cordial. He was just a little shocked at first by the looks of it. And then he said, fuck it, and went along with it.
You want to come do a ride along?
No.
Come on.
With you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to take me, then I'll come, but I'm not...
If you're really interested in law enforcement, you want to see what we do every day.
The United States of America incarcerates more people than any other country in the world. In fact, the U.S. hosts more prison inmates than all other developed nations combined.
Want to know, see what we do every day.
In 2010, the U.S. was home to about 309 million people, 4.5% of the world's total population, but housed 23% of the world's prisoners.
Want to know, see what we do every day.
We imprison more people than enormous autocratic countries like China. We imprison more people than Russia.
Want to know, see what we do every day.
Compared to the size of our population, our rate of imprisonment dwarfs our closest allies, like the United Kingdom, France, and Canada. Perhaps the nickname Land of the Free, Home of the Brave, should be updated. Though I suppose you need to be brave to endure the highest likelihood of incarceration the world has ever known. A free nation shouldn't imprison so many people, and a fiscally responsible nation can't afford to.
Then please, right along.
I mean, if you want to take me, I'd be happy to come, but I'm not going to sign any papers to come with.
You don't have to sign any papers.
And I will be carrying.
Okay.
Okay. We can do that then. Is your cell phone number on here?
No, I'll write it down on there for you, though.
Okay.
If you'd like for me to.
Okay.
Or you can just call.
I'll call there.
You can call it 972-547-5100. Ask for me.
Okay.
And they'll patch you through to me, or they'll put you through to my desk.
And you'll let me come on a ride along without doing any background checks or any giving any ID whatsoever.
When you do a ride along with us, you do have to go through. You do have to do the standard. Hey, let's make sure that you're not wanted or anything.
Yeah, let's make sure we run this guy and see what he's hitting for. I posted a video on my other channel about a local state trooper here in my area. And, he sits around and he tickets people from his fucking driveway. Like, all the time, dude. All the fucking time. I see it every week. Every week. And, like, as being a state trooper, like, I don't get how that works. But it happens all the time. I've documented it, taken many pictures. So, I posted a video about it on my other channel. Somebody shared it, and then it kind of went viral. And then a few days later, I had 3 DPS agents show up at my place. Each one of them driving his own 4-door black unmarked pickup. And they came and they questioned me. And it was basically intimidation tactics. They're like, oh, we just seen all the comments and we wanted to make sure blah blah blah. It was basically intimidating me to I don't know, maybe not be me, but you know what, fuck that, I am me.
That, then you come out.
Okay, I won't do that.
You won't do that?
No.
You got warrants?
Nope.
Okay.
Sure don't. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a matter of...
You don't want to?
Yeah.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy to come with you as 2 human beings.
Right.
But, this whole searching somebody's vehicle thing, I think it's out of line.
So why'd you ask to search mine?
Because cops do it to people all the time. I just wanted to flip it. And, I think it's out of line, personally.
Well, we don't search people's cars without probable cause or without consent.
Yeah.
Now you know that's bullshit. Without probable cause or without consent. Usually they're looking to generate revenue for the fucking state. So anything they can get on you, they want to tack on you. Fuck the police.
I see it all the time. I've had employees of mine in the area searched by Rockwall County Sheriff, where a lot of times the consent is attained by intimidation tactics. Now, am I saying that you personally have done that? No, I'm not. But,
well, I'm very certain to ask people when I ask for consent. Do you understand that it's a voluntary consent? Right.
Right.
You understand you had the right to tell me no. You understand you had the right to refuse. And you also understand you have the right to withdraw your consent at any time.
Okay.
I'm sure to let people know all 4 of those things, which I don't have to by law.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's why I try to teach people what their rights are, because most cops won't tell you.
That's why
they'll just try to abuse and...
That's why I encourage people to come out and ride with me.
Okay. Well, I'd be happy to go ride with you, like I said.
But man, you're gonna have to do that basic...
Yeah, I won't do that. Maybe I'll get somebody, maybe one of my viewers will be willing to do it, and they can go along and record if they're willing to submit to
But yeah, like a
search.
YouTube channel or something?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's your name?
I don't want to give it right now.
What's an under? So I can see myself on YouTube.
Well, you're live right now. Actually.
Oh, on YouTube I am?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 600 people watching.
YouTube or Facebook? YouTube. What are they saying about me?
I don't know. The chat is... My chat isn't working right.
I'm not going to be mad.
It's not, no, it's just not reloading. It's just not reloading. So I keep having to hit live chat. Here we go. Now it's reloading. James, this is awesome. For the most part, this cop avoids most drug questions. If you had a drug dog, this cop would have dog tested POS for drugs. This dude is awesome. Wow, James, you just found a real officer who is patient, polite, and friendly. I give this man a thumbs up. News Now Fort Worth says he knows he's on camera. Damn, he is
ride with him, see?
Ride with him.
Dark says come ride with me.
Then dog. Yeah.
I don't have a canine, so I can't get a false head. So
look at that one.
He's a good cop. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
My viewers are pretty harsh, too. The last time I found a good cop, they were still sitting there talking mad trash about it.
Where was the good cop?
Oh, man, where was it? It was out past...
Alright, so... I don't know. I'm gonna skip to the end of this where, like, some stuff starts making sense. James started asking him, a few things, and about, it's just straight politicians that are running what is law. And we are not in a free nation at all.
I can't remember the name of where it was at, though. The video's got like 80,000 views. It was just a really young guy, and usually they're arrogant. I can carry, anyways. Yeah. Government infringes on that. Shall not be infringed. I just hope that, here's what I hope then.
Scoot back a little.
Everybody who can responsibly carry, to be able to carry be able to carry their firearm, that have been through the appropriate training, that know how to handle a firearm, that know how to handle a firearm, and not just go pointing at people for all willy-nilly reasons.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So, I don't know if you're carrying. I can't see.
I definitely would never pull it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. But I encourage you, if you can carry, James, I encourage you to carry, because you could be the person that stops a crime one day.
Right, but
when we're not there to.
Yeah. When by can carry, anyways.
Yeah.
Government infringes on that. Shall not be infringed.
Well,
I just hope that, here's what I hope then. Here's what I would love. You seem like a decent guy. I would love you to take it to the next level. The next time you find a guy who's carrying illegally, that you assess the situation and decide if you think he should have the right to defend himself.
What do you consider illegal?
In Texas, for example, you're supposed to have a license to carry. You're supposed to buy permission from the government.
Yes, sir.
There's a few states who have gone to constitutional carry. Texas is working on getting there. Open Carry Texas is really trying to push it.
Right.
I don't know if you heard, but the politicians the Republicans essentially have pretty much thrown that out at this point because they're afraid to lose to the Democrats in the next election. I guess the whole point is you don't need a license to carry. You shouldn't. Shall not be infringed. The reason we call it constitutional carry when you don't have to have a license to carry is because anything else would be unconstitutional carry, right? Okay. So my only hope would be that, if you find someone that has a firearm that they're carrying and they didn't buy permission to do so, that you would assess the situation as a human being rather than as a cop.
Well, as law enforcement officers, we have to assess each and every single situation that we come across.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, you don't have a weapon, or you don't have a permit, you're going to jail. There could be some reason for it. They could be going to and from their place of hunting or something like that. So we have to, as law enforcement, we do have to assess every single situation on a case-by-case basis. The
truth is, everyone should have the right to self-defense, though, in any situation.
I totally agree.
And that is what levels the playing ground. That is what makes an 80-year-old woman a threat. Be able to defend herself against a grown man like you.
Right. But there's also people that lose that right to carry once they commit certain crimes in the United States.
Over 70% of the people in our prisons on felonies are in there for victimless, nonviolent crimes because of the failing drug war. When it started in the 70s, 1.3% of the country was addicted to illicit drugs. 40 years later.
So you heard this cop. He says they lose the privilege. They lose the privilege after committing certain crimes. Well, let me tell you what. There's 100 million crimes that politicians put in place that are named felonies in which there was no act of violence whatsoever at all. And those people are cut off from the Second Amendment. This is what the bullshit is. And this is what the fuck the media and cops nowadays are just, they're eating the bullshit.
1.3% of the country is still addicted to illicit drugs. Now we have a bigger incarceration rate than any other totalitarian nation in the entire world. So the whole idea that because you committed a, quote, crime, I mean, we got a lot of, to me, that's how we systematically disarm good people. I mean, you got an addiction, I got an addiction, it's Red Bull. Okay, it's legal though, right? And to me, that's more harmful than a lot of the illegal things that are out there.
Bangs.
Yours is what?
Bangs.
What's that?
You know, the energy drinks Bang?
Okay, right on. And they're more harmful than a lot of the things that are legal.
Absolutely.
So it's not a matter of, the government shouldn't be controlling that. And to take away somebody's right to defend themselves because they're addicted to a substance that we're not addicted to, and government said that we can do our thing.
That's a personal opinion.
Well,
I'm not going to give my personal opinion.
But you've got to. You have to.
I don't.
I mean, no, you don't have to give it, but you should be using your own discretion all the time.
But you also have to understand that how many of these illicit narcotics and these illicit drugs destroy homes.
Oh yeah, and some
people are addicted to opioids. An opioid crisis right now.
Yeah.
And for people to say,
So you hear this cop-splaining going on, rambling on about, drugs and how they, I mean, addicts, I believe addiction is a disease, being caught up in it myself. When you're stuck in that mode, you just have, you don't have any control. You know what you're doing is wrong, yet you can't stop. That is true. However, he's trying to cop-splain his way out of, so we don't have the right to defend ourselves because somebody's addicted to one thing from another.
not a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
The heroin that is infiltrating our community and the methamphetamine
coming from Afghanistan after we invaded Afghanistan and started producing opium again.
You know what, James? I have never gotten anybody with heroin that originated from Afghanistan.
Okay. Did it originate from a pharmacy?
Did not originate from a pharmacy.
Okay. Because I mean that's one of the biggest problem is prescription drugs,
Prescription
right?
narcotics.
And so
you're absolutely right, but also know that with the price of prescription narcotics going up and the crackdown that's been on doctors is that people are having to go to other avenues to get their opioid addiction fixed.
Yeah.
So we have to get a control on the opioid addiction in the United States.
Yeah, well, I know people who have been legally addicted for decades.
Well, guess what? Crackdown, huh? We're gonna, stop giving out the opioids and then make people go get them off the street. So then what? Then you're throwing more motherfuckers in jail. You're fucking ticketing more people. You're taking more money. All you're doing is generating revenue for the fucking state. A typical cop.
They're restricting the amount that they can, and so now they're going out to the streets to get it. You know, the government controlling all this stuff isn't good for anybody. It would be good if I would get off of Red Bull and you would get off of whatever you're addicted to, and it would be good if they would get off of heroin. But if I threw you in a cage and said you're a bad man now because you put that in your body and it's harmful to your body, is that fair?
You know, that's your personal opinion.
Okay. I know that everybody uses this analogy, and you probably hear it way too much, but it's real. Just following orders is not an excuse, right? All the worst atrocities in the human history, all the mass murders the worst mass murders in human history were done in the name of law. Not against the law, but in the name of law. Okay? There was nothing illegal about the Holocaust. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, right? But me and you both are perfectly capable of doing horrible things because we choose not to choose for ourselves what we believe is right and wrong and allow politicians to dictate to us what is right and wrong. So.
And that's the bread and butter right there. Allowing politicians to regulate free life. And that's what the fuck America is. Nothing but a police state. Yeah, you can do whatever you want so long as blah blah blah. And so long as you do this, man, fuck out of here. Anyway, I'm gonna play a little bit more and then I'm gonna get off here. It's been a while.
Anyways,
It's your personal opinion, man.
well,
James, hey man, do you got any other questions for me?
no, man. I appreciate you talking with me and letting me check out the vehicle.
Your buddies too?
I actually have people watching me live, and so they'll come in.
Alright, I'm gonna just go ahead and wrap it up. But yeah, figured I'd go ahead and share this because you know what? Everything James said is basically my views. I believe in voluntarism and you know, I don't know, man. Take no shit, but do no harm. You know, I believe no victim, no crime. I believe America is ran by politicians, and we are not home of the free and the brave. It's more like the fee and the slave. Getting taxed to death, and our taxes go where? Straight to the war. Straight to the military-industrial complex. Straight to whatever more control we need. You know, our politicians and our media fucking lie and need. And that's where the fuck our money goes. And I believe it's 100% bullshit. And I hate everything about it. And that's me on my own thoughts. Just rambling. So I'm gonna get up out of here. Deuces. Let me know what y'all think. Catch you later.